Hi, welcome. And we're starting in the child's pose. So come down to the mat, knees apart, big toes together, arms extended over the head, but relaxed so the elbows are on the mat, forehead down. Please make sure your forehead is supported on the ground or maybe on the block. And relax. Relax your breath, relax your body. And when you're ready, start gently deepening your breath. And now extend your arms away from you a little bit more. Bring your fingertips or hands to the floor and lift the elbows. So we're starting to stretch the shoulders. Lift the armpits away from the floor. And on the inhalation, come up to all fours, tabletop. And on the exhalation, push back into downward facing dog. Exhale, knees down, arch the back, lift the chin. Exhale, round the back, push back to child's pose. Inhale, stand up on your knees, extend the arms up, you can look up. And exhale, sit back on the heels to child's pose. And then maybe take an extra breath here. And on the inhalation, when you're ready, come up to all fours, arch the back. And then exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the knees down, arch the back, maybe lifting the chin a little bit. Exhale, push back into child's pose. And then inhale, stand up on the knees, reach the fingertips up. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, all fours, arch the back. And then exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, knees down. Lift the chin, chest reaches forward and up. Exhale, push back into child's pose. Inhale, stand up on the knees, reach up. Exhale, come down on the heels, child's pose again. On the inhalation, come up to all fours. And then exhale, tuck the toes, come up into downward facing dog. And this time we're staying here for a few breaths. Abdominals in. Bend one knee. And then the other. And then straighten both legs, but just remember you can have your knees bent if needed here. Reaching the sit bones up, pulling the heels down to the mat. Inhale, shift to plank, strong legs. Strong abdominals, body straight like a board. You can also drop the knees down for plank on the knees if needed. Be smart, be practical. And then bring the knees down if you haven't already. Lower the chest and the chin down. And extend the arms over the head. Full prostration here. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and a little bit down towards the waist. Inhale, come up into cobra. Very little weight in the hands. Don't throw the head back. And then push yourself up into downward facing dog. Take your feet closer together and then step your right foot forward for runner's lunge. You can support your hands on the blocks on both sides of the right foot. And then take your right foot back into downward facing dog or tabletop. And then step your left foot forward for runner's lunge on the other side. Drop the hips down, spine is extended. And then step your right foot forward to join the left, coming into the forward fold, bending the knees as needed. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold, bending the knees. And then on the inhalation, rise up, reach the arms up, look up maybe, if that's okay with your neck. And then exhale, bring the hands to the chest. So you're at the front of your mat, take a mountain pose. Then inhale, bring the arms up, and exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. And inhale, step the right foot back into runner's lunge. And then the left foot steps back into plank, and then lower down. You can always bring the knees down first. Arms come over the head for full prostration. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders for cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale into down dog. Breathe here. And then on the inhalation, step the right foot forward into runner's lunge. And then step the left foot forward. So coming to the front of the mat into the forward fold. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold, bending the knees as much as you need. And then on the inhalation, coming up with the knees bent to protect the lower back. And exhale, hands to chest. Again, release the arms. Then inhale, bring the arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half Uttanasana, halfway up. You can keep the fingertips down or on the legs. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, step the left leg back for runner's lunge. And then the right leg back, lower down, chaturanga, or knees first. Inhale, full prostration, arms over the head. And then bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come up either cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Strong abdominals here. Squeeze the abs. And then on the inhalation, step the left foot forward for runner's lunge. And then step the right foot forward, forward fold, exhaling here. Inhale halfway up. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, come up all the way, arms up. And exhale, hands to Anjali Mudra. Okay, release the arms. And then on the inhalation, bring the arms up again, maybe a little bit of a back bend here. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway. Strong abdominals. Exhale, bend the knees. And then step back into plank. Exhale down, chaturanga. Inhale, full prostration, arms over the head. Then exhale, bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, come up into a back bend, up dog or cobra, your choice. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Breathe here. Squeeze the abs to the spine, towards the spine on the exhalation. Strong arms, strong legs, sit bones reaching up, backs of the thighs reaching to the back of the room. Heels pull down towards the floor. It's not important if you can place your heels on the floor or not. And then bring the knees down and take your variation of child's pose here. I choose to wrap my arms around the legs here. You don't have to. And then when you're ready, come back up into down dog, and then on the inhalation, lift the right leg and bend the right knee, open the hip, stack the right hip over the left, and then re-extend the right leg, even out the hips, and then step that right foot forward, runner's lunge, and then we're coming into a lunge twist. So support yourself with your left hand underneath the left shoulder, right arm up, and then make big circles with your right arm. If you can, follow your right hand with your eyes. And then take a moment without moving in this lunge twist. And then stepping into the side plank on the left side. You can keep your right foot in front of you. You can drop the left knee down if you wish. Or you can take an extended variation of the side plank with both feet on the mat, arm up, and then come to regular plank. Both hands on the ground. Lower down slowly. You can bring the knees down first. And then without placing the chest down, come up into your back bend, cobra or upward dog. And then on the exhalation, push back into downward facing dog. So taking a rest here, or you can choose to take a short rest in child's pose. Let's even it out. Come up to downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up and then bend the knee. Twist the hips open. Stacking the left hip over the right. Then re-extend the leg, even out the hips. And take your left foot forward for runner's lunge. And then lunge twist. So right hand down next to the foot. Underneath the shoulder. Then twist the chest to the left. Lift the left arm. And then big circles with the left arm. Maybe following the hand with your eyes. Breathe. And then take a moment in this stationary lunge twist, just maybe a breath or two. Coming to plank, so your left foot can be in front of you. You can drop the right knee into this variation of plank. Or you can choose to have both legs extended and feet staggered. Maybe bringing that left arm over the ear and then coming back to regular plank. And then come into upward facing dog or cobra. And then tuck the toes and push back into downward facing dog on the exhalation. Breathe deeply. Drop the armpits down to the ground. And then either step or hop forward to the hands. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, fold over the legs, bending the knees as needed, and then come up on the inhalation with the knees bent. Take a mountain pose. Observe. Close your eyes. Observe your body and your mind. How is your mind reacting to the practice so far? Breathe deeply. Let your breath calm down. Okay, now take your feet to hip distance apart. Inhale, reach the chest up, and then on the exhalation, hinge at the hips. Come into the forward fold. You can wrap your fingers around the big toes, if that works for you, or any variation of the forward fold. So take your hands, arms, wherever you wish. Now bring your weight a little bit more towards the feet. And again, if you need to adjust, bend your knees, please. Relax the head and neck. If your body allows for that, let's come a little bit deeper into the forward fold. So stick your hands underneath your feet so your toes are touching the creases in the wrists, if available. Breathing here. And then take your hands out from underneath the feet if you went there. Now prepare mentally for coming up. Then take your hands to the hips and come up with straight back and knees bent on the inhalation. Take a moment in the mountain pose, again observing your body and your mind. And then come to the front of your mat for some standing poses. So now take your feet apart, about one leg distance apart, feet parallel. Now bring your left toes into the center a little bit more. And turn your right foot out so the toes are facing the short side of the mat. Arms out parallel to the ground. And then bend that right knee. Don't let the knee go ahead of the ankle. Strong arms. And then turn your head, look over the fingertips of the right hand. Engage the abdominals. And tuck your tailbone just a little bit here. Strong shoulders. Make sure you're not lifting the shoulders to the ears. Drop the shoulders down, but not the arms. Breathing here. Okay, now straighten the right knee. Release the arms, hands to the hips. Start leaning over that right leg, coming into triangle pose. Then release the right arm down on the leg or on a support. You can use a block. And then when you're ready, lift the left arm. If that's too much for your left shoulder, you can place the left hand down on the side. The head is neutral. And now lift the perineum floor. You can look down or up. And then when you're ready to come up, bend the right knee, push into the foot, and come up. Now bend the right knee again for our side angle bend pose. So rest your right elbow on the right thigh and bring your left arm over the ear, creating this line from the left heel to the left hand. And if your body allows for that, you can bring the right hand down to next to the right foot. But there's nothing wrong with staying, keeping the elbow on the thigh. Sometimes that's a better version. Then on the inhalation, come up, release the arms, and parallel the feet. So find your pelvis here again. Just be aware of where your pelvis is in space. Take a breath or two here in the symmetrical position. And then let's bring the right toes in towards the center first, and then turn out the left foot. So now your feet are in position for our open hip poses. Bend the left knee, and then lift the arms. Strong arms, shoulders down. Looking over the fingertips of the left hand. Feel the strength of your lower body here. A warrior, you are a warrior. Strong, ready for battle. Straightening the left knee. Hands on the hips, and then start leaning over that left leg sideways. Don't let that right shoulder come forward. Then release the left arm down. And then if you're going there, you can lift the right arm up, looking down or up, or right in front of you. Keep pushing that right shoulder back. And then when it's time to come up, rebend that left knee and push up. And then when you're ready, come into the side angle bend on this side. So rest the elbow on the leg. Right arm up and over the ear. And see if maybe you can drop that left hip down a little bit here. And then release the right arm. Straighten the left knee and come up. Bring the feet parallel again. Inhale, reach the chest up. And then exhale, fold forward. Bring the hands down on the floor. Right in between the feet and a little bit more forward. So your fingers are like you're cupping the fingers, and then walk the fingertips away from you as far as you can. So we're creating this dual direction of energy here. You're reaching forward with your fingertips on the ground, and at the same time you're reaching your sit bones back. You're reaching your hips back. And then you can walk your hands back towards the body. You can keep your hands on the mat, right underneath the chest, or you can grab onto your big toes. You can also hold on to your ankles here, wherever you're comfortable with your shoulders and arms here. Relax the head and neck. And to come up, bring your hands to the hips, bend the knees, and on the inhalation, come up with a straight back. Now pause and observe. And then bring your feet closer together, about hip distance apart. Bend your knees, come up on the toes. Arms extended in front of you, parallel to the ground. And then bend your knees, drop your hips down a little bit lower. Breathing here. And then on the exhalation, fold forward over the legs. Inhale, come up halfway. Now let's take the feet out wider to whatever distance that allows you to drop down into Malasana, the garland pose. You can take a block underneath your buttocks for support. Or if that's still too much, it can be too much on the knees or hips, just come into your squat as low or as high as you can. Point the tailbone down, the spine is extended. If you're in Malasana, your upper arms and the inside of your knees are pressed together. Okay. And now if you want to play here a little bit, maybe try a crow. If a crow is in your practice, or stay in Malasana. You can also do a variation of crow, lifting one foot at a time here. And then step back into plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, arms extend over the head. Exhale, hands come back underneath the shoulders. Inhaling, coming up into a back bend, up dog or cobra. And then exhale into downward facing dog. Okay, from here, turn out your left toes and step your right foot forward. We're positioning the feet for warrior one. So you are standing on two parallel lines. Your feet are not lined up. All right, and then bend your right knee, come up into warrior one. Lift the arms. And then you can have as much or as little bend in your right knee. Sorry, right foot is forward here. Maybe leaning the torso forward. Or maybe upright the torso and cactus your arms here. So see what works for you here. And then straighten the knee, release the arms. Maybe adjust your feet, bringing that back foot a little bit more forward, arms out to the sides. And then bring the hands to the hips. And on the exhalation, hinging at the hips, fold forward over the right leg. And we're not going all the way down. So keep the torso parallel to the ground. You can keep the hands on the hips, or alternatively, you can extend the arms to the sides, sort of an airplane position. Or maybe release the hands down on the leg or on the blocks. And then rebend the right knee, push into the right foot, come up. All right, the next one is going to be a revolved triangle. So on the inhalation, extend that left arm up, making your left side really long. And then bring your left hand on the leg or on the block or on the floor. Twist the chest to the right. And then maybe extend the right arm up. So we're trying to have the arms and the shoulders on one line here. And then come back to lunge. And step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. And then a back bend. You can drop the hips down for cobra or upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. And then come up to all fours and down to child's pose. Come up into downward facing dog, and on the inhalation, take your left foot forward. And let's do the open hip sequence, warrior one sequence on the other side. So take your left foot forward, place your feet on a railroad track for warrior one. And you can lean the torso forward a little bit, especially if you feel any pinching in the lower back. Or if it's alright with you, you can stay upright and then find what you want to do with your arms. You can extend the arms up, you can cactus the arms, or you can clasp the fingers in the back. Just a little bit of an added bonus of stretching the chest here. And then release the arms out to the sides, stretch the shoulders, stretch the joints. And then prepare for a revolved triangle on this side. Adjust the feet as needed. Then on the inhalation, lift the right arm up, long right side. And then fold forward, release the right hand down on support, block, leg. Then twist the chest to the left. And then you can keep the left hand on your side or maybe reach the left arm up. And then slowly and carefully release the pose and come up. Hands on the hips, and then on the exhalation, fold over the left leg. And then find a comfortable placement for your arms. Stack them on the leg, or maybe try to extend the arms out to the sides in airplane pose. Just a little bit of an added weight here if you wish to engage your core muscles a little bit more. And then to come out of the pose, take a lunge, and then step back into downward facing dog. Then inhale into plank, exhale, bring the knees down, and then lower down. Next inhalation, come up into a back bend, up dog or cobra, and then exhale, up and back into downward facing dog or child's pose. You have a choice here of coming down into child's pose. Breathe here. Try a few abdominal squeezes on the exhalation. And then bring the knees down. If you haven't already, shift the hips to the sides. Come sit down with the feet in front of you. Hug your knees. Drop the head. Rest here. And now come sit with the legs open wide, and then bend your left knee if possible, and then bringing the left foot to the back, and then on the exhalation folding over the right leg for this variation of the head to knee pose, Janu Shirshasana. If that doesn't work for you, you can keep both legs extended. And on the inhalation, come up. Just pause here for a second. Feeling the body, noticing the mind. Okay, let's change sides. So both legs are extended and open. Now bend your right knee, bring the right foot back, turn to face your left leg, and then with extended torso on the exhalation, fold over the left leg, if this works for you, or fold to your left leg with both legs open. And then gently come up and open both legs only to the distance that's comfortable for you. And with a straight back, lean forward. If you need to bend your knees, you can. You can place your hands wherever you wish. And then come up on the inhalation and sit cross-legged for a simple twist. On the inhalation, extend the spine, and on the exhalation, twist to the left. And you can sit on something if that's more comfortable for you. Blanket, block, if that helps to keep the spine straight. On the exhalation, twisting to the left. Breathing here with extended spine. And then come to center on the inhale. On the inhalation. And on the exhale, twist to the right. Remember, inhaling, elongating, exhaling, maybe twisting a little bit deeper. And on the inhalation, come back to center. Just take a breath or two here, and then bring your feet in front of you, about shoulder distance apart. Support yourself with your hands in the back, and slowly windshield wiper the knees side to side, keeping the feet out wide. Just as many times as you need to release the lower back, the pelvis. And then bring the feet together for Budha Kanasana. Let your knees drop open to the sides. You can hold on to your feet, your ankles, your legs. And then if there's room in the body, you can lean forward with a straight back. And now come to all fours. You can stay on all fours or come up into downward facing dog. Bring the knees down from downward dog if you took your downward dog. And then come sit. And then lie down on your back with the knees bent, feet into the mat. Take your arms out to the sides at the shoulder level, palms up or down. Bring the knees into the chest and gently shift your knees side to side. And then cross your right leg over the left and drop the knees to your left. If this variation of the spinal twist does not work for you, take any variation of the spinal twist with the knees bent and knees to the left. You can turn your head to the right. And once you found your twist, relax. So the feet are not hanging in the air. Relax and breathe here. Then turn the head back to center and bring the knees back up and cross the left leg over the right and then drop the knees to the right, or whatever variation of the spinal twist you are doing here. You can try cactusing the arms and see if that's helpful here, or arms extended at the shoulder level. Maybe head turns to the left. Breathe freely and easily here. No effort to the breathing. Relax. Relax the shoulders, the arms. Relax the face, the jaw. And then come back to center. Uncross the legs if you cross them. And bring the knees into the chest. Hug the knees into the chest. You can lift the head and shoulders. Reach your nose to your knees or not. Your choice. And then lie back down. Hug the right knee into the chest. Extend the left leg away from you. And you can choose to lift your shoulders and head here and maybe lift the left leg just off the mat. Or you can stay down. Now bring both knees into the chest. Hold on to your left knee and extend the right leg on the mat. You can stay right here. Or you can choose to lift the shoulders and the head and the right leg just off the mat, a couple of inches. And then lie the back down, pull the knees into the chest. And then lower the feet down on the mat with the knees bent. Arms are down to your sides. And on the inhalation, lift the pelvis up into bridge. You can intertwine the fingers underneath you. So make sure the upper body is supported on the backs of the shoulders, not the neck. And then slowly lower down. Bring the knees into the chest. And then lower the feet onto the mat. And extend the legs away from you, preparing for Shavasana Relaxation. Do whatever adjustments you like. You can give yourself a hug and spread the shoulder blades apart manually with your hands and then relax the arms, feet apart, and let yourself rest. Now feel the support underneath you. Reassure yourself that you are safely supported by the ground so you can let go and relax. Close your eyes and just rest. If at any point you find that your mind starts racing and taking you somewhere else from this present moment, you can give the mind something to do. Focus on the breathing. So let your awareness rest in the breath. The abdominals are relaxed, and let your belly slightly move with the breath, in and out, without much effort. You're not using any muscular effort here in the abdominals to breathe. The belly moves just by the movement of the diaphragm. Feel free to stay here as long as you wish. If you're ready to come out, bring the arms over the head and give yourself a full body stretch. And then briefly bring the knees into the chest and then roll over to one side. Pause there. And then when you're ready, gently push yourself up into a comfortable seated position. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.